We played well at time. You know, we gave up the one big run play, and that was us on us. We didn't line up right. But besides that, I thought we played better. We still got a ways to go, but you know, it was nice to get back in the conference. And, like I said, obviously we could do some things better, but giving up one touchdown was an improvement. So I like sitting on one touchdown instead of a whole bunch of them.
North Texas, I mean, everybody talks about Mason Fine, but that rushing attack looks pretty.
Yeah, you know, they're good. You know, they got the two running backs, 13 kid here from Mississippi, and then they got the freshman from Duncanville, number 15, he's one of the best running backs we've seen so far this year. So, you know, they can run the ball, and then, you know, it's so tough on you because you're trying to slow down Mason, you know. So when you got to play both the run and play his passing game, you know, as a defense, it puts a lot of stress on you. You know, he's kind of been our Achilles heel, my Achilles heel, and so I got a lot of sleep the last 2 weeks, and so here we go. And it doesn't get any better next week. You know, we got two quarterbacks in a row that are 4-year starters, and so as a defensive coordinator and secondary coach, life around the house is not a lot of fun right now.
I was going to ask you, having done this a couple of years, looking at him, does that help? Just having played against him before, and it doesn't sound like.
Good question. You know, I think he's a really good player. I've said from day one, I thought he's an NFL guy. You know, I think he throws the ball better. I went against Russell Wilson, who's not. You know, I think he throws the ball better than him, and he's just a really good football player. He's savvy, and you know, he got some Baker Mayfield. I call him a magician. He just pulls the rabbits out of his hat all the time. I mean, he's just a good, really, really good football player. He's a true gym rat, you know. And, he makes things happen, and you think you got him, and he disappears, and you think you're going to sack him. He throws it right in the guy's hands on the sideline, 50 yards away. So he's just a really good football player. I love watching him, except game day when I'm playing him. I love watching him on film and watch him play the game. Just don't like playing against him. But you know, the thing is just try to control him as much as you can, and hopefully we can make some plays and get him to punt the ball some.
When playing a quarterback like Fine, how important is it for your defensive line to get pressure, not have to use your linebackers at that
Well,
point?
you know, you'd love to. I mean, of course they got a good offensive line too, but you know, we put pressure on him every year, I felt like, and we'll hit him, he gets back up and goes again, you know. So obviously that's you know, last year we hung in there for a while. You know, they scored right at the last second of the going into the fourth quarter. You know, they only had 10 points up at that time, and we'd given up one big play, you know, on a blown coverage. So, but in the fourth quarter they kind of got after us. So, you know, the deal is this time we got to go for 4 quarters, and we got to try to slow him down and limit the amount of touches he gets, and then just see what happens.
Coach, how does that receiving core change with Bussey and Guyton not involved now?
Well, you know, those two really, really good players. They still got the number one, I think Drayden or Darden kid. He's a really, really good player. And then number 32, I don't know his name, but I've seen him forever too. You know, he's his go-to guys. And plus, you know, the difference this year, I think, for them is their running game's a little better this year. It's been in the past, which makes it even that much tougher. So, that's, you know, it doesn't matter how well you cover them if you can't stop the running game. So we got to make sure we can slow that down and get them in passing situations. Because the tough thing is when he can run or throw it at any time, you don't know which one. That's when you got issues.
It almost sounds counterintuitive to get him in passing situations.
That is true. You know, you're like, okay, run the ball, but hey, you know how much you want him to run it. So. Yeah. That's a good question. You guys got any answers or any game plans? Please email them to me, okay? Just send them to me. I've been looking for some.
Jack West Turner this season. What have you thought about his play at the end?
He's been solid. You know, I don't think that anybody on the D line has just had a spectacular year. You know, I've been giving them a hard time because their leading sack guy's been DQ. You know, our nickel, and tackles for losses. He has more tackles for losses and sacks than the rest of the D line. So I've been giving them a hard time, but. We practiced well last week, and I feel like we'll have another great week of practice this week. And I think for the years over with, hopefully we keep getting better, and those guys, we're going to depend on them for the years over.
Coming off the bye week, do you think y'all are as healthy on defense as y'all have been any good, or?
Yeah, we are. You know, the good thing is we got Rakeem back, and that's, you know, he's, like I said, he's kind of hard sober defense between he and Mario. You know, but one thing about Rakeem, he lines everybody up and he makes all the checks. He's our quarterback there. He's our stapling force, and so getting him back this week will be huge for us.
Coach said you guys were able to work on fundamentals as well. How important was that, just in terms of getting guys, hey, look, this is what, you know.
Great. I mean, you know, with the things we worked on, just little technique things as far as assignment things, technique things, being better tacklers. As far as chasing the ball and really working on our tackling, and you know, we've had 2 weeks in a row here now we hadn't gotten a take back, and you know, that's that's something that we need to do. You know, it makes it a lot easier football game when you can steal possessions. You know, just as far as stealing possessions and momentum of a game, and so it's real important that we keep working on and stressing. You know, we had some balls in our hands last week and we didn't catch them, and you know, so we've got to create some takebacks and give us an opportunity, you know, to be a better football team.
Mason's a little on the shorter side. You mentioned some other guys, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, not the tallest. Have you always thought that's kind of overrated, the idea that the quarterback has to be 6'4"?
Well, they do. You know, I mean, it's you know, Drew Brees is not not 6'3", you know, so I mean, either you're a player or you're not. Obviously, it helps a little bit in the pocket if you're a little taller, but you know, he knows how to move around the pocket. He has a quick release, and he's just a really good football player, like I said. And so, it's, you know, Tua's not 6'3" either. So, especially you look lately at the quarterbacks the last few years in the NFL, the size part has really become a minor factor when you see the guys that have been drafted the last few years. Obviously, they like the tall guy, but the athletic guy with the quick release has been kind of the new in vogue thing, not only in college but in the NFL. So I don't see why he couldn't fit there, you know, like those other guys.
Anything else?
All right, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach.
Have a
All
good
right.
one, sir.